So we're in an old Pinot Noir block here at the OSU Research Vineyard near Alpine, Oregon. And I'm going to show you what it looks like inside of these trunks. The reason is a lot of the old vines in Oregon tend to get trunk disease with time. And this block is 30 plus years old and likely to have trunk disease. What I've already done is cut off the canes that were pruned and cut into different areas at the top of the head here. But then we cut further down already below this knobby head to reveal what the wood would look like underneath with just a hand saw here. And if you want to look here on the cut surface, you can see this black area. This is a canker, and this is essentially not productive. It's actually a warm, sunny, or warming, sunny day here in winter, and this you can actually see some xylem sap starting to come up through this cut surface. What's white or light colored tan here is healthy still, but the black is basically non-productive canker tissue. This could be suggested that there's a trunk disease already in this wood. Typically comes from these cut areas up here, infections during pruning, or can come in at other times of the year. Fungal pathogens can land on here and cause these what we know as trunk diseases, and they typically move their way down through the wood tissue of the trunk and can get into the roots. But this is definitely a vine that is showing some of those cankers there. We would have to send this off to a testing lab or diagnostic lab to determine what specific fungal pathogen is infected this plant. Usually it's multiple different fungal pathogens. There are over 100 different species of trunk diseases. This vine didn't necessarily have any issues that were visible before we did this investigation. We just knew it was an older vine. Pinot Noir tends to be a cultivar that shows fewer symptoms of trunk disease, and possibly because these are own-rooted vines and under relatively cool climate conditions weren't stressed enough to show symptoms, and they were functioning just fine. But essentially on a reduced trunk capacity, because all of this area here was what was conducting tissues. The other thing to note here, if we come closer to this canopy or to the trunk, is that there is an area of this trunk that did have damage on it. And we can see, here's another example over here, where there was some damage cut away, and then we can see it originates there. That's probably where the infection came in and then started working down the trunk to create necrotic tissues.